Hey there, it's your girl King Coral, and today I want to talk about my experience meeting a monk and what he told the group that I was with. And first of all, with like different cultures, I noticed he was walking in the room and everyone had to stand up. They told us that's like normal in Buddhism, that you wait for them to walk to the front and then sit down, and then he tells you to sit down. So first thing he said is how important it is to listen to what your body's saying. We were sitting for like 1.5 hours and he said your bottom's probably hurting right now from sitting for so long, and he told us we need to stand up. And if we're standing up for too long and our back starts hurting, we need to sit down or lay down or do something else. And I think especially when it comes to like working at an office where you sit for like 8 hours and your back is hurting just because you're like standing up and sitting down or something starts hurting, that's like your body hurting and you having to listen to it. He said you don't need to buy a new sofa to feel more comfortable. Most of the time it's like your body and you need to listen to it. Another thing he said why monks seem so happy and in tune with themselves is because they have zero expectations. We have a lot of expectations to our day, to so many things, and those expectations can't be met every day. So sometimes we don't feel happy because of it. And an example is like I'm going to a lot of concerts. I want to be as close to the front as I can, so I'm coming as early as possible. And for Justin Bieber, I went camping and got there the day before, and there were already 200 other people there. And I was a little bit disappointed because I was hoping or expecting there would be like 10 people and I would be like guaranteed to get like a front row spot. Only you know what is the right thing, and I think it's really hard because a lot of other people always tell us what's right and what's wrong, but really we need to listen to ourselves and what our body is saying to us. Another thing that he said, tell yourself or write it down every day, I will do my best and I will accept what's coming. You're giving your best. You cannot give your best. Like some people expect something so high, which is like above their best, so they can never reach it and they will never be happy. Giving your best, you always know I did the maximum of what is possible for me to do. Because we have no influence on what's happening in the future, we can determine based on like our habits what can happen in the future, but nothing is guaranteed and that you will succeed or anything doing something. It's important to know that this is out of your control and you just need to accept it. Another thing that he said was that anger is the pain of the pain. By you being angry, and it's like a natural emotion, he said it's important to be able to know how you're dealing with it, because he said it's like when you want clearness in your life, you have like pot full of water and mud and you shake it up and then it's going to be all dirty. But if you leave it, and the mud eventually is going to separate from the water and going to the bottom, and then there's clear water on the top, and that's what you want. You want to have like a clear vision. So if you're angry or you're emotionally like shaking up that pot, and it's important sometimes that if you feel anger, that you just let a situation sit and maybe respond to it the next day while you're not feeling that emotion. Sometimes the anger already leaves you like 10 minutes later. Sometimes it takes longer. The biggest thing that I learned was that attachments are the biggest thing that are causing us pain. And that's really interesting because he said like the biggest attachment that you have in your life is usually your children. And to give like an example of attachment and the pain that might come with it, let's say you're a parent and your child wants to travel to a different country that might feel like it's more dangerous than the country that you're living in. And as a parent, you're saying like, no, I don't want you to go there because I don't want you to risk your life, or it could be dangerous. It's like an attachment because as a parent you want to protect your child and you also don't want to lose your child. So you are saying to them to not go there, but it might really hurt the child and might be crushing their dreams. And I think a lot of us have experienced that our parents didn't always co-sign our dreams and our vision, and they would not always allow us to do the things that we wanted to. And he said like the antidote for attachment is compassion. So it's like knowing that that's the dream that your child has, you need to let go of it. You need to let go of your kids. And this is like really hard because we're attached to so many things. Like he told us the house that we live in maybe, or like the furniture in it, or our job. Like we have so many attachments and so many relationships that we feel like attached to, that it can be really painful to let it go, or let others having let go of us, because we might not be able to understand like, oh, why don't you want to be friends with me anymore, or why do you break up with me? Because we have these intense attachments, and the only way to feel free is if we let go of all of those attachments. Another reference he made, which was, he was like, okay, if you're like a kid throwing a stick and you have a dog and a lion on the other side, the dog will always bring you the stick and you will throw it again and it will bring you. He said that dog is never in peace because it's always looking for the stick and then returning it, and there's like not really an end for this. And he said the lion will not return the stick, but he will eventually eat the person that's like throwing the stick and then just lay on its back in the Sahara and enjoy the rest of the day and be in peace. And he said, you want to be the lion and not the dog. And so many people within their lives, they're always like chasing something, thinking that's the thing that's going to make them happy. They're like, I don't have money now, so once I would hit that much amount of money, like I will be happy. And they will be like, I can get this piece of furniture, if I can get this kind of apartment, I will be happy. If I can get this kind of partner, I will be happier. That's not the case. Like you need to be happy with yourself and be in peace with yourself in order to see the beauty and also attract all these beautiful people in your life that value you and that you can value. I hope it helped you. Maybe you need to listen to it again, because I think like repetition and repeating it, like even for me to say it to the camera right now, it's important to repeat what's being said. And my favorite line was of him saying, I will do my best and I will accept what's coming. Don't be so hard on yourself all the time, and there's no rush. I know like there's so many people around me right now that are rushing and they're like, I need to do this and I need to finish my studies before I'm 30 and this and that. And it's like, you don't need to stress yourself that much, because the importance is that you find things in your life that give you happiness and that make you feel grateful that you have them in your life. And it doesn't matter when you finish your studies at all. If it's something, you know, that's valuable to you, if you stress yourself and end up doing or studying something that you don't even care about just so you study, or you're done before the age of 25, and it's like, it doesn't make sense to stress yourself. And I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.